Good morning and welcome back to the On the Front Green series of online learning programs. My name is Jim Hooper. I'm the camp manager with 4-H Camp Bristol Hills, and today we're going to be continuing on our Backpackers mini-series. Last week we talked to Matthew, and Matthew showed us what we were looking for in the perfect campsite. Today we're going to be talking about how to lay out that campsite and how to pitch your tent. So there's a lot of good material, and let's get to it. Now, just like many of you, I'm also working from home these days, so welcome to my big beautiful backyard. When I'm out on the trail, I'm looking for a place to call home for the night. That means I need a place that I can pitch my tent, I need a place that I can cook my dinner, I need a place I can go to the bathroom, and I need a place to be able to keep all my stuff safe from the critters that might be hanging around. Now, you're not always going to get so lucky as to find a pre-made campfire like this, but if you do, this is a great spot to be able to pitch your tent for the night because you know that there's going to be places around in the area to be able to lay your tent because clearly other people have been camping here. Looking for a campsite that other people have used is always a great way to start so that you know you're not going to have to do any more impact on the environment than what's already been done. Now, this looks like a nice place to lay out a tent. You'll want to make sure that your tent is at least 100 feet away from where your campfire is, at least 100 feet away from where you're going to do your business, and at least 100 feet away from where you're going to hang your bear bags for the night. Now, we'll do workshops later on in the series about doing your business outdoors and hanging your bear bags. But for today, we want to focus on how to pitch your tent and lay out your campsite. Now, once you've got the right spot to put out your tent, you'll want to take out all the pieces parts. So this tent comes with its own poles and stakes, as well as a Rainfly, the main tent, and a footprint. You'll want to start with the footprint. Lay it out flat. Now, this tent, you can tell, is not exactly the same on all sides. This end is going to be my door, and I want it facing towards my campfire. Now, I'm going to take each of my poles, and these are all shot corded together, so I'll just let them attach. There's an elastic cord that connects them all. I have one that's curved and two that are flat, and they are different for a reason. I'll show you in just a minute. So now I have all three of my poles assembled, and I'm going to take the body of my tent and start to lay it out. I want my tent to be just slightly larger than the size of my footprint, otherwise water's going to wick underneath the tent in the middle of the night. Alright, that looks great. Now I'm going to take my two straight poles. In this particular, I mean, every tent's going to be a little different, but in this particular case, I'm going to lay out my two tent poles across the tent at an X. And then I've got a pin on each end. I'm going to throw the pole right on the pin. Now I'm going to come back up to the front corners. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my pole, I'm going to bend it, and put it right on the pin. Do that on both sides. Now I'm simply going to take the clips on the tent and clip it right to the poles. Now, many tents will achieve the same thing with a sleeve where the poles go through, but I like this one because it does clip on. It makes it a little bit lighter weight and a whole lot easier to assemble. Same process for the last pole, except it's going to go across the header. So I'm going to put the pin right into the pole and go ahead and clip it together. Now my tent is set up. I'm going to go ahead and attach the Rainfly. I'm looking for the door, as the door will give me access to be able to have a little vestibule or a little sheltered area that comes out front. So that, in my case, is the green section. And on each corner of the Rainfly, I've got a little elastic strap here with a clip, and that's going to clip into the same metal ring at the bottom of each corner. And now I can get into staking down the Rainfly. Now, staking will give the Rainfly a little bit of shape, It also gives your tent some stability in the wind. You never know what you're going to get overnight. Now this particular tent, the front piece here gives me a little bit of a sheltered area that I can be able to put my wet boots overnight so they aren't in the tent, things like that. Just a nice little extra piece that's not part of the tent but gives you some extra storage. And now that I got the whole tent staked out, I can open up the Rainfly and I can start to empty in some of my stuff like my air mattress and my sleeping bag. These kinds of things like the bags for the tent, I like to be able to throw these right here in the vestibule. And with that, our tent is set and we're ready to go head over to the campfire and do some cooking. I really hope you've enjoyed spending some time with us this afternoon out on the front green. We'll be excited to bring some more stuff to you every Thursday for the next 6 or 8 weeks. We've got some great stuff lined up for you, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching.